In this blood-curdling episode of True 911 Calls, an off-duty sheriff's deputy shoots and kills his in-laws, a 12-month-old baby goes missing, and a birthday meal turns deadly. Let's dive in. In May 2010, an off-duty Pierce County sheriff's deputy shot and killed his wife's parents in his Gig Harbor home. After a standoff with co-workers, he turned the gun on himself. From the neighbor's garden shed, his mother-in-law made this call.
911, we're reporting.
I'd like to report gunshot wound.
Someone got shot where?
Below her chest on...
Okay, but where's she at?
Oh,
And how did this person get shot? On purpose or by accident?
on purpose or by accident? Purpose.
Okay, hold on the line for the fire department. And where's the shooter at?
I'm sorry.
Where's the shooter at?
Deputy Myron.
Lisa transferring the caller saying that there's a female that shot.
The female is shot. Her husband is shot as well.
Where at?
Where is your husband? She didn't know. She came out up the back way. I can give you the address where the shot took place.
I need to know where the patients are.
We need to know where your husband is. One patient is...
Okay, is that a house, apartment, or mobile home?
House.
Okay, your name?
Tom Stevens.
Okay, how old is she?
Ma'am, age 67.
Okay, and is she the way she's talking to you? Is she breathing?
Yes.
Okay.
She is half sitting up, supported by one arm.
Okay, and where was she shot?
On her left side, probably a little bit upper stomach. Like the higher part of the stomach.
What was she shot with?
What were you shot with? Some kind of a handgun.
And when did this happen?
When did this happen? Sometime in the last half hour.
Okay, in the last 30 minutes. Okay, I'm going to give you some instructions here in a minute, but right now I'm going to let the police take over. Go ahead. All right, thanks, sir.
Away from the window.
Sir?
Yes.
So do you know where she was when this occurred?
Can you say the address again?
And what's the street number?
Yeah. You keep saying it's Deputy Myron's house.
So, what,
Deputy Myron.
Deputy Myron's house?
Yes.
Is she Deputy Myron's wife?
What's your relation to Deputy Myron? Mother-in-law. Man, move back towards me, please.
Okay, does she know who shot him?
Deputy Myron.
This is Deputy Myron's mother-in-law?
Yes.
And Deputy Myron shot her?
And Deputy Myron shot you? Yes.
Is this Myers or Myron?
Myron or Myron?
M-Y-R-O-N?
M-Y-R-O-N.
Okay, do we know where Deputy Myron is?
I do not.
Okay, does she?
No, she did not know. She said that she told her not to leave.
And she got away?
Yes.
Did she leave in a car on foot?
She left on foot.
And who else is shot? Her husband?
Her husband.
Okay, what about his wife?
You know about Deputy Myron's wife? She's in Federal Way at the hospital where her daughter's a patient.
Okay, where's the father-in-law at? Is he still over it?
She thinks that he's in the driveway.
He's in the driveway? Of your house?
Of their house, of Deputy Myron's house.
Okay, so is there any way that I can talk to her?
Yeah, we can try. Here.
Hello? Hi, this is the dispatcher at the Sheriff's Department. What's your name? Susan Mulcanen, M-U-L-C-A-N. Okay, Susan, did Deputy Myron shoot you and your husband? Yes. Okay, where did he go? Well, he was downstairs on the driveway arguing with his daughter. Is he still at the house? What? Is he still at the house? I don't know because I crawled through the woods and got away from there. I came over here. This is 2 houses down. Okay, and who else was in the house with him? Well, I was up in the apartment above the garage, and he and my husband were down in the driveway. Okay, what name does he go by? Does he go by Alan? Alan, yeah. Okay. What kind of gun did he shoot you with? Some kind of a handgun. Do you know if there's anyone else beside your husband and Myron there? Our granddaughter was there with me. What's her name? Kristen. Kristen? Is that Alan's daughter? Yes. And And she was in the house when you left? He was up in the apartment with me, and then he took her outside. So they were down in the driveway. Okay, so Alan and Kristen were in the driveway when the last time you saw them? Yes. Do you think that they were leaving? I really don't know. What kind of car does he drive? Oh, I don't know. He has a police car, and he has kind of an older sedan. What color is the older sedan? Kind of a grayish. And it's a four-door? I think so. Okay, where were you shot at? Lower, like in the lower steps area. Well, you sound like you're doing pretty good. Do you know where your husband was shot at? I don't know, but Ellen told me he was dead. So Ellen told you that he was dead. Okay. So Alan and your husband got in a confrontation in the driveway. He shot your husband in the driveway. Then he came up to the apartment and shot you? Yes. And then he took his daughter and went back outside. They were out in the driveway arguing, and she was crying, and I'm not sure where they are now. Okay, but the wife is not there. The wife is in Seattle, right? She's at Federal Way. In Federal Way. Okay, I think we have her on the phone already. You're doing a great job. Oh, you got her on the phone? Okay. Yeah, we have her on the phone, and I'm going to keep you on the phone. Okay, now, are there any other cars that you can remember that are parked there? Well, our own little car was there. It's a maroon car. Okay, where were the keys to that? Probably in my husband's pocket. And what kind of car is it? Oh, like a Lumina. And is it in the driveway? Well, it was. I don't know if anybody left with it. Now, Ellen took my purse, which had all of my keys and credit cards, so I don't know where all that went. Okay, Alan took your purse after he shot you? Yes. Oh. Now, how bad is your wound? Are you in a lot of pain? Well, it's starting to kind of sting there. I mean, the whole body hurts at first, and then, I was having a lot of trouble breathing when I was trying to walk or crawl. I kept falling. All right. I'm on the floor, and yeah, it's kind of stinging there. Mostly my back hurts, so I don't know if the wound. I don't know. I don't know if it's affected my lungs or what. Okay, it sounds like we're going to have someone over there with you in just a minute, and as soon as they can secure that house, we're going to get medical aid in there for you, okay? Thank you. What was going on today that set Alan off like this? Well, they've had a very sticky situation. They've been in kind of an abusive husband for a while, but they've had a daughter with an eating disorder with depression, and she tried to kill herself and was put into the hospital on Tuesday. Yeah. The children are somewhat estranged from their father, and she didn't want her father to see her. And then she was moved to another hospital and go away last night. Mother and her boyfriend are going to look at her love. She was there, and she was angry, and it's like we've all been against them. And so he's angry at his wife, too, of course. Okay. And she's planning not to get back to her. All right. So she was planning even before he is he a drinker? Had he been drinking or anything today, or? Don't know. As far as I know, he hasn't been, but I don't know. You're not sure? Okay.
Hello?
Hi, we're having a hard time finding your house. What does your house look like?
There's cops here.
There's cops there?
Yeah.
Okay, can I talk to one of them?
Gentleman in the... Yes, we're good. I'm on the phone with dispatch or 911. I can take you right to her. It's 9922 58th Street. No idea about anybody's location except for her. We came inside and turned off the lights and locked doors because she thought he might be around. You guys are totally fine. No, sir, or no, ma'am. Yes, I was here the whole time. Hello?
Okay, I need to know if they're ready for the fire department to come in.
The fire department? Yes, they're coming in.
The fire department is coming in right now? Okay, yeah. I'm going to let you go. Bye-bye. Fire's on the line. Thanks. Okay, bye.
The Myrons had a rocky marriage. According to friends and family, Alan Myron was abusive towards his wife and had an estranged relationship with his children. The father had previously threatened to cause physical harm to himself. The sheriff's officials were unaware of those earlier incidents until he shot his wife's parents and turned the gun on himself. The 11-year Sheriff's Department veteran was allegedly angry at his in-laws for interfering with his marriage with their daughter, Sarah Myron. The victims, 70-year-old Monty Multanen and his wife 68-year-old Susan, had arrived at Myron's house from Oregon to stay with the couple. This was because of a deteriorating relationship between Myron and their daughter. The report provides disturbing details about the sequence of events. Myron's 15-year-old daughter, Kristen, was napping in the apartment above when she suddenly heard gunshots. She got up to investigate and witnessed her dad shooting her grandmother, Susan Multanen, in the chest with a handgun from close range. The report further stated that Myron made several statements to her and her husband of interfering with his marriage. Still armed, Myron told his daughter to leave the apartment with him, and once outside, the girl saw her grandfather lying in the driveway. Myron instructed his daughter to go back inside the house and followed her up to the master bedroom. While Myron and his daughter were inside the house, a wounded Susan Multanen then made her way through the woods to a neighbor's house where she collapsed in the yard. She and the neighbor locked themselves in a back room in the house with the lights turned off, fearful Myron might come looking for her. In a steady and calm voice, she told the 911 dispatcher that she and her husband had come up to resolve their child's marital problems. Susan later died in hospital. For almost 3 hours, deputies continued negotiating with Myron. According to police reports, he expressed his unhappiness with the Pierce County Sheriff's Department. He also spoke about his deteriorating marriage with the unsolicited intervention of his in-laws. After a 7-hour standoff at around 10 p.m., the SWAT team who'd surrounded the house heard a muffled gunshot. They found a shotgun, rifle, and 2 handguns near Myron's body. Gary Multanen, brother of Monty Multanen, was shocked to hear of his brother's shooting.
You see this type of news on the news, and you say, how does that happen? Well, it's hit home. There's nothing that led us to believe there was difficulty. And then at 2:30 in the morning, I get a call from Eric that says, your brother's dead.
The news of the shooting took the usually quiet wooded neighborhood near the entrance to Kopachuk State Park by surprise.
Did you ever think he was capable of doing something like this?
We never know what people live through. And I would never have thought that. But
Why not?
because he always seemed so kind.
Dana Malik, who lives behind the deputy's family, told news reporters that she heard a loud bang from the house behind before 7 p.m. on Friday, but didn't think anything of it. She called Myron a good person. After the shootings, Sarah Myron, who was not present, told Tacoma police detectives she hadn't felt that her husband was dangerous, saying he'd never assaulted her and never threatened to hurt her or anyone else. A friend of Myron told the deputies that he seemed fine the day before the shooting, but something must have set him off.
Did he ever give any indication that he had any problems with his in-laws?
Absolutely not. We didn't even know his in-laws were there.
At a news conference, Pierce County Sheriff Paul Pastor expressed his sadness over the tragic incident.
My heart goes out to the family. I would ask viewers to keep family and friends of the Myron family and the extended family in their thoughts and prayers. I've given you a copy of a memo that I sent to our personnel on Saturday when I arrived back from the memorial ceremony in Washington, D.C. And I stated that while my heart goes out to family and friends, I have nothing but disgust and contempt for these murders.
If you're a true 911 fan, don't forget to like this video. On June 6th, 1-year-old Leona Wright vanished from Edgewood Square apartment complex in Pendleton.
Anderson County 911, what's the location of your emergency? What's the address?
Yes.
What's the apartment number?
Building A. Somebody done got a baby. The baby is missing out here.
Who's the baby? Who's the child's parent? Let me speak with them.
Hold on.
Hello.
That is not going to help you or nobody else. That's a damn child.
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Ma'am, what's going on out there? You're saying a
Honey,
baby's
the baby
missing
is
and nobody...
missing, yes. Yes,
Okay,
ma'am, the baby is missing. This is all I know. I just live out here. She
What's
cannot
your
walk.
name?
The baby cannot walk. Ashley Patterson.
What is your name?
Ashley Patterson.
Ashley Patterson?
Yes. I'm on the phone with the police. Hello?
So nobody knows about how long the child's been gone?
No, because she was asleep.
So somebody took the child?
Yes.
Do we know who took the child?
Nobody knows who took the child.
Is she how old is the child?
Excuse me?
How old is the child?
How old is your baby, Kiara? 1. But she can't walk.
Stay on the phone. Do not hang up with me, okay? Who's the child's mother?
Oh, Kiara Sullivan. It don't make no sense. That's what I said. I think it might be the baby.
So somebody came into the house and took the child.
Oh my God, ma'am, I don't know.
Okay, that's why I'm asking. They're coming. I've already got them en route to you, but I need to find out as much information from you as I can, okay?
This Marissa, this somebody else, man. What do you need?
I need to know if somebody walked to the house where the child was asleep and took the child. Was the child awake? What was going on?
The parents are really not saying nothing. They just crying and hollering. I don't know. We just stay out here. She came out hollering saying her baby is gone. She has an older, like a daughter that's, I don't know exactly how old she is, but she looked like she's maybe 3. And she was up, so I don't know exactly what happened. I'm just they hollering and crying, so I asked her to call her baby dad to see if he, picked the child up, but the older little girl here, and she keeps saying if he got the baby, he would have got the older one. So it was just kind of confusing, like, I don't know. It don't make sense.
Well, you've given me more information than the other female did. So what apartment do they live in? What apartment does the mother live in?
Hold on, let me check. Kiara, what apartment you stay in? A what? A as in apple, 10.
Perfect. Okay, she has another child?
Yeah, she looks like she's about 3. She's trying to say something, but they are taking it out on her because the baby's gone, so it's like she's nervous. So we're trying to figure out what's going on. Yeah, just go around knocking on doors to see if somebody took her just because she's seen outside or something. Y'all check up under beds, everything. But I'm saying, what if she would have slipped, got hurt? You don't know. Just check. That's what I'm saying. We went down Eastwood.
So has anybody gone through the apartment yet?
Ma'am.
All right, so no one's been through the apartment altogether yet?
Well, they said they've been checking the apartment. I just told them check places that you won't even think about checking. They don't know if she fell, got hurt, and not say nothing.
Okay, do you know if the child was asleep, if the child was in the living room?
Well, ma'am, I'm just going to be honest with you because basically they should have been up with these kids. She said she was asleep. When she woke up, that her baby was gone. The older one we're trying to get information out the older one. She keeps saying that she opened the door. The baby cannot walk. She only can crawl. But she's telling somebody else now that when she looked outside, her little sister was by. It's a car right here in the next breezeway complex. That she was right here, but somebody picked her up. So I have no idea. I mean,
so somebody saw the 1-year-old in the next breezeway.
This is what the other little girl, the 3 or 4. I don't know how old she is, but this is what she's saying. But the girl boyfriend that stays with her, he keeps yelling, saying, "Where's my baby?" And it's making the baby nervous. So I don't know who should talk to her because it's like her nerves is probably tore up. They out here screaming, and it's not the baby's fault. I mean, y'all are 2 parents.
I know you don't like. Yeah, okay. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm just trying to make it make sense because it's not making sense to me.
I gotcha.
I mean, the police just arrived, but I don't know.
All right. Well, I appreciate you giving me far more information than the other person did. So I thank you for that, okay?
You're welcome.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
At the time of Leona's disappearance, her mother, Kiara Sullivan, told investigators that the baby might have crawled or walked out of the apartment. They said her older sister, who was then 3, had unlocked the door. On the evening of June 5, 2015, Sullivan left the apartment to attend a party for her sister and returned around 5:30 a.m. the next day. The investigators later determined that the older child could not unlock the door. Leona's family and the sheriff held a news conference, in part to remind people that there is a $10,000 reward for information that leads to an arrest and conviction. Sullivan made a tearful plea, asking anyone with information about what happened to her daughter to come forward. 5 years after Leona's disappearance, police officers issued an arrest warrant for Travis Jones. Jones, the boyfriend of the child's mother, was the last person known to have seen the infant before she disappeared. He was charged with homicide by child abuse. The warrant stated Jones willfully abandoned and neglected Leona multiple times on the day she vanished. Anderson County Sheriff Chad McBride called Jones a suspect, then certainly a person of interest in the case to be more specific. The 36-year-old was jailed on outstanding warrants just hours after Leona was reported missing. While in jail, he admitted he had used illegal drugs while caring for Leona's sister. He pleaded guilty to child and a probation violation stemming from a 2014 conviction for possession of crack cocaine. Jones was released from jail a few months prior but returned to the Anderson County Detention Center in June on unrelated charges before being re-released. According to a statement from the Anderson County Sheriff's Office, a second person was charged with the disappearance of baby Leona. Jones's older brother, Donnie Roderick Jones, was charged with being an accessory to the crime after Leona's death and is also charged with destruction or desecration of human remains. Sullivan confronted her ex-boyfriend and expressed how hurt she was over the loss of her baby.
I have to live with this every day, and I hurt every day because I miss my baby. Well, you just don't know what you done did to me and my family, my kids. He took my everything, and I want him to be held accountable.
Richard Wright, Leona's father, remembered his daughter.
The last time I seen my baby, bro, was at her 1-year-old birthday. I held her in the water. She was so calm, cool, and collected. Like, that's the last memory I got of my child, bro.
Jones maintained his innocence.
I've maintained my innocence. I will maintain my innocence until the day I am released from here, because I know that will happen.
He insisted that he and his brother had done nothing wrong.
They had 5 years to find anything they wanted to find on me, and there's been nothing. I've done nothing. Me and my brother have done nothing wrong, and that's all it is.
Leona's grandmother said Jones should be held accountable for his appalling actions.
He got to pay for what went down in that house that night. That I don't know. But whatever it is or whatever he did, he should be man enough to step up and be accountable.
Leona's grandfather also spoke out.
I feel good, because I feel like, he deserves some of it too. Because, for what we heard, them two were together on doing everything with Leona.
In December 2021, charges against the brothers were dropped. Anderson County Sheriff Chad McBride released this statement after the news. Although the magistrate that issued the arrest warrants for the two defendants originally found probable cause to charge them, a different magistrate that oversaw the proceeding today found that there was insufficient probable cause to move forward. Sheriff McBride and his deputies would continue investigating Leona's disappearance. Upstate activist Tracy Fant, who served as a spokesperson for the family, said she would do everything in her power to bring justice for Leona.
I made a promise to her mother, her grandparents, to Leona's siblings, to her aunts and uncles and cousins. I sat in the living room with them and I said, if I don't do anything else, I'm going to get justice for Leona Wright. Knowing that what Leona went through was terrible. But knowing that justice for her is what it's all about.
The child, who would be 7 today, has still never been found. The night before Valentine's Day, Penelope Jackson stabbed her husband with a kitchen knife at their home in Somerset, England. She called 999 to confess what she had done.
And are you with him now?
Well, I might just go and stab him again, but...
Alright, do not stab him again.
Why?
Okay, so just listen to my voice. Okay?
Yes.
Stay on the line with me.
I am competent.
Okay, are you with the patient now?
Well, I'm in the lounge and he's in the kitchen bleeding to death with any luck.
Alright, so just stay on the line with me.
Look, this is not... You're not paid enough to do with this. It's not fair.
Okay, well, ultimately, madam, I'm listening to your voice and you're the help I have available, so we need to help him, okay?
No, I'm not.
Alright, madam,
I don't...
how many times have you stabbed him?
I did the once.
You did the once?
And then he said I wouldn't do it again, so I did it twice more.
So, okay. So in total, how many times?
3 times.
3 times, okay.
Once I thought I'd get his heart. Well, he hasn't got one. And then twice in the abdomen, so...
David Jackson, a retired lieutenant colonel, allegedly got angry when his wife prepared a side dish of bubble and squeak vegetables to eat with an expensive meal of crab, lobster, and steak purchased by their daughter to celebrate her birthday. Their verbal quarrel soon turned vicious. Jackson was first stabbed across the chest in a bedroom. During the 999 call, Penelope was asked how many times she stabbed her husband, which she answered once and added, "Then he said I wouldn't do it again, so I did it twice more." On February 13, 2021, Penelope was arrested in her pajamas on the street outside the couple's luxury Somerset bungalow, while her husband was lying bleeding on the kitchen floor.
Hey madam, do you want to just step outside for me a minute? Can you come outside?
Yes.
Thank you.
He's on the kitchen floor.
Okay, at this moment in time, okay, if you just listen to my colleague, under arrest suspicion of attempt murder, mate.
Under arrest for suspicion of attempt murder. You do not have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you do not mention when questioned anything you later rely on in court. Anything you do say may be given in evidence.
I'll go in and see what they do.
Yeah. Could I get my coat?
Just bear with me 2 seconds.
In there. I admit it all.
Alright.
Just get them. Alright, I want to go in. Alright.
No,
so,
he's on the kitchen floor.
Can someone just stay with Devon while I go in?
There's nothing nasty. And I'm certainly not... My coat's in the...
Yeah, just
Ow,
wait
it's
2
a bit
seconds.
hot.
Alright, you okay? You alright?
With any luck, you'll be too late.
Right.
What's your name, my love?
Well, I'm called Penny, but Penelope Jackson.
Do you live here? You do live here?
Yes. Can I get my coat?
We'll get you a
Right,
coat.
get the ambulance in. Pronto, we need
Oh,
CPR.
don't. No, please don't.
Yeah, we need
I
the
should
ambulance
have
in.
stabbed him a bit more.
We've got CPR being done at the moment.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on. Come with me, mate.
For my keys.
Shoe.
For your
I
band, okay?
Yes. I stabbed him once because he's a...
No, I'm going to send them all out.
He's an aggressive bully and nasty, and I've had enough. And when he said you wouldn't do it, I did it twice more. Coats in.
What colour's your
go
coat?
in the front. In the front.
Yeah.
Grey wardrobe.
Okay, it might be a while, alright, but I'll try and get it for you. There's obviously a lot going on, okay?
Oh,
but
with any luck, it'll be too late.
Penelope, my advice is don't talk about it now, okay?
No, I have no intention of not agreeing to what I've done.
Okay.
I know what I've done.
All right.
And I know why I've done it. And if I haven't done it properly, I'm really annoyed.
Alright, Penny. I'm further arresting you for murder.
Oh, good.
I've already cautioned you, so your necessities for your arrest is for a prompt and effective investigation and stop further harm.
Sorry, that one's a bit tight.
So
This
Penny,
one's
We're gonna
move them to the rear in a
minute.
moment. The DO's just come out to check your temperature, and then we'll move you in. And then
Mind
we'll
your
go
head.
from there. Just stay there for the time being.
all right. I wouldn't buy my slippers.
All right.
I'm not
Do you want her out?
exactly.
Yeah. Right. Just step out. Mind your head.
Yeah. Rightio. I'm very sorry for being a nuisance.
No, we just got to take a temperature, okay?
Yeah. Oh, that'd be just really great. Get COVID on the top of this.
During a 2.5-week trial, the court heard how the 66-year-old told a 999 operator, "I thought I'd get his heart, but he hasn't got one." She also wrote a letter titled Confession. It read, "To whom it may concern, I have taken so much abuse over the years. Look at my records in Germany, but he was a good daddy. However, the mask slipped tonight, and that was unforgivable. I accept my punishment. May he rot in hell." Jackson pleaded guilty to manslaughter but not murder. She told jurors she hadn't intended to kill her husband but had had enough and lost the plot after being worn down by his abuse. She claimed that David had been violent and controlling and that the situation worsened during lockdown. Jackson then had taken an 8-inch filleting knife with her to bed in case her husband was violent. The defendant's daughter, Isabel Potterton, whose father had raised her from birth, told Bristol Crown Court she had witnessed him acting violently towards her mother on 3 occasions when she was a child, including one incident where he held a knife to her throat. Isabel also recalled her parents fighting over who had forgotten to charge their computers. She later called to check in on her. Potterton said the defendant told her she was absolutely fine, don't worry, adding that she would call her in the morning. But she agreed that her parents seemed to be enjoying a happy retirement together and had lots of shared interests such as a love of cruise holidays and gardening. Judge Martin Picton remarked that she hadn't shown a shred of remorse following the attack or in court. Jackson repeatedly refused to help the victim when the operator asked her to take steps such as applying pressure to the wound or throwing him a towel to try and stem the bleeding. The Bristol Crown Court found Jackson guilty of murder and sentenced her to life in prison with a minimum term of 18 years. Penelope Jackson's son-in-law, Tom Potterton, said he could never forgive her for the pain she has caused his wife, Isabel. He said Isabel has had to process the circumstances around her father's death, particularly the involvement of her mother. For more True 911, watch this episode next. You can also let me know which call was your favorite in the comments below.